All right, second attempt. Second attempt. Should be better now. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. No. There we are. Oh! Perfect. Oh my god, it took me so much time to make everything ready. All right. I'm so proud of myself. We did it. All right. All right. Good job, Julia. Good job. All right. Those who will join us can able to watch the video later. I will save it. Okay, cool. Let's see. I'm super worried, and at the same time I'm very excited. Okay. Now live on channel Manipulation Love. Oh, perfect. All right. Hi. Thanks for likes, guys. Thank you for likes. I appreciate it so much. Okay, let's start. Those who are late, it's okay. They can they can watch later. Anyways, I'm super worried. I'm super excited. I'm nervous, but this is my first stream on YouTube ever. And today, me and Fanny, we're going to be discussing a book that I've read a year ago, and I decided that it's time to make a review about this book. To me, this book is more like a guide to manipulation, psychological games, and in some ways toxic dynamics. Even though this book was written in 1928, I think nothing has changed, and the manipulations are exactly the same, even in the 21st century. Welcome, everyone. I'm super happy to see you all here. And if you want to support the channel, you can always check the description down below. If not, just keep on tapping, liking the stream, and you can also leave a message or a comment down below. I'll be super happy. Anyways, I've got some notes. I'll be reading them because the book is in Russian and I had to use ChatGPT to translate a lot of things there. Hello, Natalie. Natalie, who's there? Hi, Jared. Happy to see you here. Anyways, let's see. So, as I said, this book was written in 1928. Everything in it is still relevant today, and you might recognize the patterns in your own relationships or in your past relationships. The book was called The Climates of Love. I even love the name of it, the English name of it. It was written by André Maurois. It's a French writer. Wasn't sure if this was live. A good idea, looks great. Thank you. I made the first attempt and didn't work well. So yeah, this is my second attempt. Anyways, thank you for support. Let's move on with the book. If you have any questions, just let me know, okay? So let's see. The book explores the complexities of love and relationships through the story of Philippe Marcinat's two marriages. And it dives deep into psychological patterns, why we fall in love for certain people, how different relationships shapes us, and why we repeat familiar emotional cycles. It's considered a classic of French literature, and yes, I do like to read some classic literature as well. So I highlighted some specific moments for myself, certain techniques, manipulations, and some patterns described in the book. And today we're gonna go through them with you, and maybe you can recognize yourself in your relationships or in your past relationships. I don't know for how long I will be streaming today. We'll see. Maybe I'll just stream for like 30 or 40 minutes and then make the part 2, because as I said, this is my first stream. I'm a bit worried. I have more experience in other platforms. You should try some IRL and streaming on a hike or something. Streaming on a hike. Great idea. I will think about that. For now, the first time here at home. So, if you ever experienced yourself in the book I'm going to be talking about, you can always leave a comment about that. Let's discuss it. If you find this topic interesting, let me know. I will think about other streams on this topic. IRL streaming is huge on Twitch and Kick. I have no idea what's that, to be honest, but I will think about it. I'll think about it. Okay, let's see. Also, this is, as I said, my very first stream on YouTube, and thank you so much for being here. If you'd like to support my channel, since it's not monetized yet, you can always go and support me via Buy Me a Coffee or PayPal. So the link is in the description of the channel, in the description of the stream. And I really appreciate any kind of support, even if you're just watching, liking this stream. I'm really, really happy. Streaming out in public, etc. As I said, I will think about it. My dog Fanny is here. She's happy to see you too. Oh, there she is. Wait a second. Oh yeah, there she is. She's saying hi, so we're gonna be streaming together, Fanny and me. All right. Let's start with one of the first moments that really stood out to me in this book, The Climates of Love by André Maurois. This part comes from a letter the main character, Philip, writes to his second wife. He's describing the dynamics between him, his first wife, Adelia, and his own family. So I'll be reading out what was said in the book, because of course I don't remember by heart. And Fanny will be supporting me here. So, Adelia didn't like Philip's family, and he wasn't exactly fond of hers either. His mother gave Adelia unsolicited advice about things like furniture choices, clearly interfering in their marriage. His father admired Adelia openly, his first wife. And although Philip didn't express his frustration, he writes that it bothered him. So he was saying in the book, I knew how delicate my father was, and I inherited that trait, so I understood just how much Adelia's behavior must have hurt him. Then Philip recalls something Adelia once said to him directly. His wife, you don't even realize how ridiculous your family is. It's not just ridiculous, it's horrifying. And Dickie, is horrifying because, believe it or not, I love you a little. Imagine your wife is saying to you, I love you a little. And when I see these caricatures, I can't help but think they are all just exaggerated versions of you. You're not like them by nature, but you still carry their imprint. So this is such a classic form of emotional manipulation. It starts as critique of his family, Philip's family, but quickly turns into a passive-aggressive attack on him as a person. She laughs in his face, devalues his background, and then finishes it off by saying essentially, you're not like them, but you're still tainted by them. That's not honesty, that's cruelty dressed up as just being real. If you ever experience something like that, let me know down in the comments. And it's horrible. I've been criticized too in my past relationships. Do you really think that it's okay when people say something like that to you? I'm really interested if this has ever happened to you. The book was mostly described as a letter to his second wife. The first part of the book was like a letter to his second wife. And that's like his memoirs, like his memories about it. And that's what he was saying to his second wife about his first wife, Adelia. He said, words, phrases, they didn't mean much to her. She was like a dream, like creature, someone who lived entirely in her imagination. She existed in the present moment. She would invent her own past or future as needed, and then forget about it completely. If she truly wanted to lie, she'd at least try to make her stories believable. But she never bothered. She would contradict herself in the same sentence. One day, after coming back from a factory visit, I asked her, how did you spend your Sunday? Sunday? I forgot. Oh yes, I was exhausted and stayed in bed all day. 5 minutes later, we were talking about music and she suddenly said, oh, I forgot to tell you. On Sunday, I went to a concert. I listened to that Ravel waltz you told me about. I loved it. Philip said, Adelia, do you realize what you're saying? This is nonsense. Were you in bed or at the concert? You don't actually expect me to believe both, do you? She said, I'm not asking you to believe anything. When I'm tired, I say all sort of things. I don't even listen to myself. Please try to remember more clearly. What did you do last Sunday? She looked slightly embarrassed and said, honestly, I don't remember. When you question me like some kind of inquisitor, I just lose my head. What manipulations are used here by Adelia? The first one, like the classic one, is gaslighting. She gives contradictory versions of events and then shifts the conversation, claiming she herself isn't sure what really happened. This confuses Philip and makes him question his own perception of reality. The gaslighting is one of the worst manipulations you can ever meet. Where is the red pill video you referred to you were featured in? The red pill video you referred to you were featured in? What do you mean? What kind of red pill video? The second manipulation that was used there, emotional avoidance. When Philip asks Adelia to clarify the situation, she accuses him of using an inquisitorial tone, shifting the focus away from the actual issue to his behavior instead. She's like avoiding the responsibilities. That's I hate this when people don't want to take responsibilities for their words and actions. The next one, invalidation. She said, when I'm tired, I say all sort of things. She devalues the meaning of her own words. And then she adds, I don't even listen to myself. This is a strategy where she's playing the victim or playing confused in order to avoid accountability. Again. So as I said, this is all gaslighting mixed with emotional avoidance. She contradicts herself, then denies in matters. Then when she's gently questioned, she flips the script and suddenly he's the bad guy for interrogating her. I remember when I tried in my previous relationship, for example, I tried to talk when we had problems. Then I was afraid to start talking about the problems because I was the bad girl to start this kind of topic. Like, why did you even start? We are fighting now, you know? So yeah, it creates emotional confusion and destabilizes the partner. It's like avoiding any accountability, as I said. If you ever met someone who is always has a convenient bad memory, let me know down in the comments. Do you think it's emotional immaturity or just avoiding their accountability, their responsibility? Oh my God, Fanny is not happy because of the light. Oh no, she's stepping on my on my laptop. All right, where did we stop? Where did we stop? Let me see. Okay, the next, what he was saying, he reflects on his fiancée, Azealia, when she was his fiancée. He was reflecting on her behavior before and after their engagement. He said, before marriage, Azealia continued going on outings with other young men, even traveling with them, claiming she couldn't give up old friendships. Imagine your girlfriend or your fiance goes out with other guys and she's just saying, I just cannot stop talking to them. They're my friends. He was blinded by love and accepted this. He thought it's okay. Well, he wasn't happy about this. Hi, ghosts and paranormal UFOs. Hi. Hello. However, after marriage, he began feeling hurt and jealous, especially seeing her use the same smiles and looks with other men that he cherished. He found her choice of company frustrating. She surrounded herself with average or even vulgar men like Jean Vernier, and she found them entertaining. When he asked her to stop seeing these people, his wife deflected the conversation with playful charm. She said she couldn't help herself and refused to change anything. So he tried to appeal to logic and mutual compromise, but she dismissed the idea of change, saying she didn't want or wasn't capable of it. She said, I don't think I can help it, or I don't know, I guess I'm just like this. It's like the way to shut down the conversation while avoiding any real responsibility. As always, she was... if you ever watched the video about attachment styles, well, she was 100% avoiding type. So yeah, next. She used charm and flirtation all the time. She was smiling, sweet, joking, making herself appear adorably confused. That's how she redirected the focus away from the discomfort she was causing to her husband. Not even boyfriend, not even, I don't know, lover, her husband. You should, if you like this kind of books, you should read it. It's really interesting because you can see all the manipulations there. It's like a wonderful example. Next, she was invalidating emotional boundaries. Even after her husband told her that how much pain her actions caused, she continued the same behavior. And she said she's entertained and she tried to minimize his hurt. And again, gaslighting. She was acting like he was overreacting. That's the worst. And she said, you think everyone's in love with me? I'm not even that attractive. It was said in the book. This makes the partner feel irrational or insecure for expressing valid concerns. If this ever happened to you, please let me know, because this has happened to me and I was told that I'm too emotional, I'm overreacting, and this is not that important, blah, blah, blah. And shifting the blame. In the end, when her husband was trying to reason with her, she turned around everything and said, then you changed too. Even though he's not the one violating trust or pushing emotional boundaries. She was the one who did it. One of the main traits of Adelia's character was a love of danger. She especially enjoyed sailing a yacht in the stormy weather, driving a racing car during difficult trials, and jumping high barriers on horseback. She was always surrounded by a whole entourage of daring young men, and it seemed she didn't favor any of them in particular. This is what her husband was saying. Every time I overheard their conversations, I was even convinced that Adelia spoke with them simply as sports companions. However, now I know better, and I'll explain how. She had received countless letters from those young men. All the letters suggested that she allowed flirtatious talk but always rejected intimacy. And he said to her, no, those guys said to her, they wrote letters to her. They said, "You are a strange woman, Adelia," wrote one of them. "At the same time, so reckless and yet so chaste, perhaps even too chaste, if you ask me." Another one, a sensitive young Englishman, comforted himself in his own way. "There is no doubt, dear Adelia, that in this world you will never be mine. I can only hope to be near you in the next one." And then her husband added, "I'm telling you all this now. I only learned it much later. At the time, I couldn't believe someone could live such an independent life and remain virtuous." Wait, what did you write? Let me check the... Your hair is glowing. Sounds like a good book. Maybe I'll read. It's been a year since I read a book. What was the last book you read? Emotional sounds the book. It is. There are a lot of manipulations there. That's why I decided to discuss this book, because I think that these kind of manipulations are still used. Like, the manipulations never change, you know, even 100 years later, they will be the same. So I read this book a year ago, and I decided to stream a year ago, and look, I started only now. So this is my first stream here. Last book I read was Filth, pretty crazy. It's also a movie. I think this book, Climates of Love, there is also a movie. I think it was made in 1998. I haven't watched it yet. Filth. It's also a movie. Cool. Ghosts and paranormal UFOs. Are you following my channel or you are new here? Okay. Okay, now then he added, "During the early days of our life together, she tried to involve me in both her old and new social circles. She would have happily shared all her friends with me." Just sobbed. Oh, Jared, you just sobbed? You came from the stream? You found my channel because of the stream? Oh, thank you. You'd make a good teacher. Actually, I was a teacher. I was a teacher. For kids, though. Thank you. I'm new and I followed today. Oh my god, that's so sweet. Thank you. Oh, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm super happy. If you found my channel because of stream, then it's cool. Then streams help a lot. I decided, like, to make a stream more interesting, not just talking, "Hello, how are you?" I do that on TikTok. But here I decided to make it more interesting and have a topic and discuss it with you guys. So I decided to start with a book review. So if you like it, I can make a part 2, because I don't think that I will stream a lot for hours today. I think this is going to be the first part, and then I will get ready better and make the second part. All right, so what was this passage about? This passage shows us a vivid portrait of Adelia, Philip's wife, as a woman who thrives on danger, like she likes danger, risking, and adrenaline, like racing cars, sailing during storms, etc. She surrounds herself with male attention, denies intimacy, keeping them emotionally hooked, builds the image of an elusive, untamed woman, uses admiration as a fuel without offering real emotional or physical closeness. So yeah, she's like a sensation-seeking behavior. Unfortunately, as we all know, now maybe someone doesn't know, narcissists often chase admiration and drama. Psychopaths seek control and risk for stimulation and power. We cannot be 100% sure that she was a narcissist, but when I was reading this novel, I was like, well, this is so like familiar to what I've been through in my life. So yeah, we cannot be sure, 100% sure that she was a narcissist, but maybe she 100% has narcissistic traits. And people also with unstable self-esteem may crave constant excitement to feel alive. Like they need all this adrenaline in their life. It's not always a disorder, but it can point to emotional instability or deeper psychological dynamics. My ex was a narcissist. She had a portrait of herself in a bedroom. Well, I'm not sure if... if it's your admirer who made a portrait for you, who painted painted is painting walls, who drew a portrait and gave it to you as a gift, maybe, but I would still, I think I wouldn't hang it in my bedroom. I don't know. Yeah, it's, to me, I would have never ordered a portrait of myself and then hang it in my bedroom. And yeah, I don't know. By the way, if you had a narcissistic ex, you can watch my other videos about narcissists. I will about my previous relationship. I will, let me tell you, or I think I will even leave a link here now, if I can. This is part 3, and there are part 1 and 2. If you look through the new videos, let me share with you. Here is the link. A few weeks after we break up, she was awful, though I'm happy it ended. It was awful. Yeah. In the beginning, you always feel like you are destroyed, but then in time, you will feel better. I talk a lot about it, so you can watch my other videos about my past relationship. I made 3 parts of it about it, so later I will make new parts. Yeah. So this is a powerful form of manipulation. She flirts, provokes, and charms. These kind of people, like her, they avoid real closeness or vulnerability. So you read books for the emotional ups and downs. I think my grandma brought this book for me, and she suggested me to read it. I read it, and then I was like, "Ooh!" When I started reading, I was like, "Oh my God!" It's a textbook of manipulations. I should share with my audience. So, yeah. It's a classic novel. It's a classic literature. So let's continue. As I said, yes, psychologically, this may relate to avoiding attachment style, fear of intimacy. I'm listening. I don't read books. I'm here to learn. Oh, okay, okay. And as I said, narcissistic behavior where control and admiration matter more than love. Next, the man described her as strange, both wild and overly chaste, powerful, undesirable. Yeah, well, I've heard a lot that, I don't know, if mostly men are watching me, I've heard a lot that men like women who are, how to say, unreachable. Anyways, this was a classic push and pull behavior. She pulled these men and then pushed them away. And it's not about love, it's more about emotional power and validation. You're in Spain, Czech? Yeah, I'm in Spain. I live in Spain for the past 3 years. It's my home for now. And usually this kind of dynamic, this kind of behavior like Adelia had with other men, it leaves people confused, insecure, and constantly chasing approval. Wow, so nice. I'm going for Christmas, cold here. Yeah, you should visit Spain. It's warm. It's 30 degrees here today where I'm at. So as you can see, I'm wearing a top and shorts. It's really warm today. Oh, okay. Men like women like you, pretty. Hope you don't mind. I don't know. I had a how to say? I forgot my attachment style. Anxious attachment style, which is not good. Now it's a bit better. I was more chasing, and men don't like that. Anyways, as I said, no, I used ChatGPT to help me analyze the book and her behavior, and he said that narcissists in particular thrive on this kind of emotional control, like Adelia had, and it keeps doubting people. And the narcissists or people who have narcissistic traits, they have this sense of superiority. If you ever met someone like that, please let me know. It's really interesting to discuss in the comments. Yeah, definitely the cold weather for winter takes its toll. Yeah, a lot of people come here to Spain during winter time. It's true. All right, let's continue. What else do I have? Oh, then the Isabel part comes. I think that I will leave it for the second stream. There are a lot of people like that think they're better than you. That's true. A lot. The second part is about his wife, the second wife. Like the story, the novel is about two wives and him. And the second wife was absolutely different. And the second wife, I think it was, she was writing like a message to him, like a letter to him. The first part, it was him messaging, writing a letter to Isabel, his second wife. And the second part was about Isabel writing a letter to him. It's like, it's crazy. Anyways, we will stop right here. And next time I will make a stream about his second wife. It was fun. There were other short novels in this book. They're also cool. Probably I will read one now. It's about optimism. Wait a second, I will find it. No, not here. Let me find it. What's you especially living in Spain? Yeah, I've heard someone recommend me to make a stream about sunset. I don't know. Um, IRL. I did it on other platforms. Maybe I should try. It's a good idea. Well, hiking and streaming might be difficult because Spanish internet is not the best, you know, especially in the mountains. I will think about it. Where else we can go? Let me find this short novel. It's about women. No, I would love to read about the optimism. Oh, here. So yeah, I bookmarked a few more essays. They're short, by André Maurois. I couldn't leave them out. I like the stream is different. This stream. Oh, thank you. This is my first stream here on YouTube. So yeah, I was super nervous, and I could relax only. I don't know, in the middle of the stream, you know, the first 15 minutes were a nightmare for me. Okay, anyways, let's see. This short essay is called On Optimism. Do you consider yourself as optimistic people or pessimistic people? Because I am actually, sometimes I'm pessimistic, sometimes optimistic. It depends on how I feel. As someone who can be both, and sometimes I'm realist. I think it's not pessimistic, it's more, you know, I look realistic on the situation, on life. So yeah, I thought that it would be interesting to share this short essay with you. So I translated it in English because I have the book in Russian. What did you write? A bit of both, depends on the weather, helps. What do you mean? Nice weather, feel happier. Optimistic. Yeah, the weather helps a lot. But when you always live in a warm climate like I do, sometimes you don't cherish it. You know, you get used to it, and you know, you're like, oh, you don't look at the weather. So sometimes, yeah, you should stop a little bit and look around you and be grateful for where you are and how nice and beautiful the nature is. Because when you live in this kind of nature where I live now, you just get used to it. I'd hate to live in Tenerife in summer, to be honest, too hot. Where I live, it's not too hot. It's 25 degrees. When it's hot, I love it. I love hot weather. All right, so let's get back to the essay. First of all, I don't believe that life is fundamentally bad. Not at all. I refuse to see the conditions of human existence as inherently dreadful. True, they are unusual. True, we are spinning on a lump of dirt in the middle of infinite space, not quite knowing why. True, we will all die. That's simply the nature of things, and it must be faced with courage. But the real question is, what can we do and what should we do while we are here? Secondly, I'm an optimist because I believe that it's possible to accomplish something in this life, to improve our own existence and, in a broader sense, the life of humanity. Tremendous progress has already been made. Humans have conquered much of nature. Our power over the material world has grown immensely. A pessimist would argue, Yes, but all these great discoveries are used mainly for war, and humanity is on the brink of self-destruction. I don't think that's inevitable. To some degree, it depends on us. In the end, my optimism is rooted in my faith in human nature. I know there is greatness in people. I know it's possible to appeal to what's best in each of us. It's better to speak to people about their freedom than about their chains. Third, I admit that my first instinct when facing any situation is to look for the good in it, not the bad. For example, once I had a falling out with a very influential person. A pessimist would say, "What a disaster! This could ruin your career." But I thought to myself, "What a luck! I'm finally rid of that fool." That's the essence of what I call my relative optimism. Because unless you deliberately choose to be optimistic, the darkest kind of pessimism often ends up being right. If you fall into despair or stay stuck in a bad mood, you attract failure and hardship. I'm afraid I'll fall. If I'm afraid I will fall, I will. That's called vertigo. And it applies not only to individuals, but to entire nations. If I believe I can't change anything in my country, I won't. That's how it works. I create the storm or the sunshine, first within myself and then around me. Pessimism is contagious. If I assume my neighbor is dishonest and treat him with suspicion, he will become dishonest because of me. The wisdom of the ancients was to inspire hope, not fear. Our modern sages often spread despair, but I don't think they're very wise at all. It's just amazing. I mean, this book was written in 1928. This is just amazing. I reread it today when I was getting ready for the stream. I read it in Russian and I felt so much comfort. I felt so much motivation after reading these words, actually. Sometimes I self-doubt myself. Sometimes I slip into pessimism too. And I found a lot of strength in this little passage. It's like a gentle reminder that your mindset really shapes your world. So I hope that this small essay helped you too today. Who wrote it? It's André Maurois. You can read the name of my... Oh, you can read it in the description. I'm talking about the book called Climates of Love. But this writer, he also... wrote some small essays, and this is a small essay of him. André Maurois, he was a French writer. So it made me ask myself, how often do I think negatively in this life? How often do I expect the worst coming? And how often I'm stuck thinking about the worst things in my life. We can even think about it, how often do you think negatively during the day? The most important thing is just to stop and realize, okay, I'm just spinning in negative emotions, negative thoughts over and over again. I should stop. This passage hit me a lot, so yeah, I found a lot of things to think about. I hope that it helped you too somehow. I'm glad I found this channel. Ooh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you found the channel too. So instead of asking yourself what's the worst that could happen to you, try to ask yourself, what if it works out? Because before starting to stream, I was doubting, should I stream will anyone watch me? Like I don't have many followers here, not many subscribers who's gonna come and watch. And then I was like, whatever, even if no one watches, I will just talk to myself. Even Fanny came here. Look, she's with us. So yeah, we're not alone. The next stream, I don't know when I will do it, maybe in a week or so. I'll see, because the internet, I don't have a really good internet in my room, and maybe in a week or so I'll watch when I know you stream. Yeah, next time I will leave a story on Instagram and here that I will be streaming. I will leave a note in advance. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this format, let me know. And some of you did let me know, and it gives me so much strength to move forward. And I know that if at least one person watches it, then it's worth creating content like that. And I'm just starting streaming on YouTube, and I hope the more I stream, the better and I will become, and I will improve. Take care. Thank you, Jared. Nice to meet you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this channel with someone you think it would be useful to watch. If you want to support the channel, you can always buy me a coffee or send, I don't know, something on PayPal. The links are in the description of the channel and in the description of this stream. And yeah, this all helps me keep going. Thanks for the content different. Mwah! I love you all so much. I'm really happy to get to know new people here. I'm super proud of myself, and I talk to you next time. Watch my other videos and enjoy your night or morning or afternoon, wherever you are. And see you next time, everyone. Mwah! Love you.